Locker Room ENT.
Yeah, we want all the smoke, we want all the action. If you're grinding for the paper, don't forget your passion. If you're driving, pull it over, that can lead to crashing. DJ Demise is on the mix, and that can lead to dancing. Go ahead, shake it, girl, everybody clapping. Damn, do it for the gram, I ain't even capping. If you grind till you shine, you can make it happen. Uncle Marv, Marty Marv, keep it old fashioned.
The Keepin' It Old Fashioned Show.
All right, folks. Welcome to another episode of the Keepin' It Old Fashioned Show with Uncle Marv.
Your boy Marty Mar, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, brother? Now,
going, man?
I'd like to welcome everybody back. If you're listening to us on our YouTube channel or a podcast, wherever you get your podcast from, I'd like to encourage you to like, share, and definitely subscribe so that you know when we drop in a new video. And now, if you're listening to us on the radio, you're probably listening to us through our radio partner, She Real Radio, home of the kings and queens of hip-hop and R&B. And I'd like to welcome you if you're listening to us through the radio. All right? So how you feeling today, Marty Mar?
Real good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing fantastic.
Good.
Brother.
I'm happy to be here.
All right, we got a lot of interesting things on our show for you. As usual, we'll have those Marta facts where Marty breaks out with some interesting facts, sometimes fun, sometimes educational, sometimes very strange and weird.
Sometimes useless.
That's right. But we'll hit you with those. We also going to find out what makes Marty mad this week. All right. We also, for our main topic, the holidays are coming up, and we want to talk about what to do and not to do for each of these holidays, the major ones that are coming up. We want to give you a little advice and hope that you can take it to heart. Maybe you'll hear something useful. We also want to talk about, a few other things, right?
Absolutely.
All right, and to get it started off, you guys that have been long-time, listeners and watchers of the podcast, and Keeping It Old Fashioned Show, you know that Martin has been on a journey to lose weight. All right, Uncle Marv, being a Marine, being a real health fitness nut, used to have and I still do, a personal fitness, devil dog training. Where I use the techniques I learned in the Marines, and the fact that I'm a chef, and I have a degree in nutrition, to help people lose weight. To teach you about what you need to know to make effective weight loss. So every show, every week, we're going to weigh Martin. We're going to check his BMI. And in case you didn't know, BMI is your body mass index. He looks at your fat percentage and relative to how much muscle and how much fat that your body has. The scale is not the whole story. The scale is just part of the story. And,
Yes.
you can go back and check us out on YouTube or check out some of our previous episodes if you need more information on that. But right now, I want to go ahead and tell you what Martin's stats was last week. Now Martin is 6'2". He weighed in at 256.6 pounds. His fat percentage was 31.8, and his BMI was 32.6. We weighed him today.
Uh-oh.
And we're going to find out right here and right now where Martin is for his numbers. Are you ready, Martin?
Oh, man, I'm ready.
So,
I'm
Martin,
ready.
before we go, do you think you lost weight? Do you think you gained weight, bro?
Man, I hope I lost weight. I mean, I did what you told me, and I've cut down on carbs tremendously. So I'm hoping that there's some fruit to my labor.
Well, here we go. If we had a drum roll, we'd be doing it right now. But Martin weighed in at 248.8 pounds, which is a great loss for 1 week. Last week, this time, you were 256.6.
So about 8 pounds.
8 pounds,
Roughly
bro.
8 pounds. I'll take it.
That's
I'll
a
take it.
legit, because if you can keep this, you'll be to your goal in no time, Martin.
Yeah.
All right? Now, your fat percentage is 31%, so get down like 0.8. And your BMI is 37.6, so it's about the same,
About the same.
right? So I mean, this is only week 1 though,
Yeah.
but you're still already making leeway.
Yep.
Now, what's going to help you is consistency. I mean, what did you do this week, bro?
Well, I'll be honest, didn't exercise as much as I should have. I'll be completely honest with you on that. What I wanted to focus on is my diet. I figured, the first thing I want to do is get my eating right, because once I get my eating right, then I can, add the exercise.
Okay.
But, I was eating very low carbs, very, very little, if at all. If I had to, like you told me, eat them before work or eat them early in the morning because we have a chance to work them off. And that's basically a portion control, eating as many times as 4 or 5 times up to 6 times a day, but small meals and high protein.
Heard that.
And I can feel it. I can feel more energy and things like that. So it has worked so far.
Great. Awesome. I'm very glad to hear
Thank
that,
you,
Martin, and glad that you understand the consistency and dedication. If you actually want to make a difference in your life health-wise, you got to stick to your diet. You got to stick to your workouts. You need both. All right. I'm very proud of you. And I mean, as the weeks go on, I look to see you getting to the kind of shape that you want to be, my friend.
I appreciate it, brother.
All right, guys, listen, I want you to keep it locked in. What we have coming up, we're going to talk about a whole lot of stuff. We got artifacts coming at you. We have What Makes Marty Mad. Of course, those of you listening to the radio, now, if you're on YouTube, there's going to be a link for DJ DeMaz's dope mix, so you don't have to miss out, all right? You click on the link, download the mix, and listen to it. But we're going to have DJ DeMaz. He's going to be getting down. And look, before we go, I want to mention this also to everybody, right? I got this in the mail, Martin. This is my mail-in ballot.
Oh, very important.
I don't
Very
care if
important.
you're Democrat, you're Republican, Independent.
Doesn't matter. Vote.
Voting is of supreme importance to everyone.
Absolutely.
A lot of people think that my vote doesn't count, but if you got 1 million people not voting, of course your vote's not going to count.
Exactly. It
right?
makes absolutely no sense to me.
I don't want to hear people, write me emails, Uncle Marv, the world is messed up, America's messed up, I got this, got that, and then you're not voting.
Yeah.
Easiest way to change your predicament is to vote for the things you believe in.
100%.
All right? Voting is, Uncle Marv was in the Marines, and, I gave service to this country because I believe in democracy. A lot of things that we've gone through as a nation, we all have our issues, but it's like one big family. You always got that uncle you can't stand, or that cousin you can't get along with. But there comes a time when grandma pulls you all in the room, and you got to settle it. You got to get along. And the way I see it, it's time for America to start getting along. It's time for some things that should have been settled generations ago for people to get together and sit down and have conversations to make that happen. So, knowing that elections, by the time you hear this, are probably going on right now, do your civic duty, folks. Get out there and vote. All right? And with that, we're going to go ahead and let you know. We're going to go ahead and be back with Artifacts, What Makes Marty Mad, DJ DeMaz and the Mix. Keep it locked in, folks, to the Keepin' It Old-Fashioned show. And if you listen to us on She Real Radio, home of the kings and queens of hip-hop and R&B, we welcome you. If you want a podcast, like, share, and subscribe. We'll be right back, folks.
Don't go nowhere.
The Keepin' It Old-Fashioned show presents What Makes Marty Mad.
I'm really mad, bro. All right, folks. We're here with our segment on finding out what makes my man, Martin Nicoletti, steaming mad. What are you mad about today, Marty?
Oh, man. I'm probably going to sound like that old guy. But you know what I'm kind of upset about? Actually, really upset about.
What you upset about, Marty?
We used to build things that last, and we also used to build things in this country. And I'm really upset that everything is so cheaply made, and a lot of things are not made in the United States anymore. Like, for instance, no one is going to get grandpa's IKEA furniture handed down to them. Before, a piece of furniture was something that was handed down from family to family. It was something that you were proud of. It probably weighed a lot. You had to have like 5 of your friends to come help you move it. But it was something that was going to last forever. And unfortunately, nothing is made like that nowadays. Or you have to go and find some sort of specialty shop to make it for you.
Well, here's the reason why, Martin. We live in a disposable economy now. It's been that way since the late 80s. And basically, with clothes, right? Ships are made out of hemp. The anchors for ship, the ropes are made out of hemp.
Very sustainable.
Because hemp is one of the strongest materials known to man. Now, people think marijuana is all illegal because it's a drug and all that. No. The company DuPont, because they know that, and marijuana's in the same family as hemp. They're cousins. They know that anything made from the plant is super strong, especially clothing, materials, things like that. That people used to buy suits one time, and you never have to buy a suit again. It would last you your whole life.
Really?
But down the economy is built with all these clothes company, designer brands. They want you to constantly buy clothes. And they're accomplished in two ways. By styling that every year there's a new fad. And also by how the materials are made. The materials cost them less to make, but yet they charge more than we ever paid for it. And that, a lot of that has to do with inflation, but it's a complicated thing. But, basically, even furniture, there's easy way to make it. You got particle board. Before, if you wanted furniture, a craftsman would cut a tree.
Yep.
He would get you some oak, get you some maple, get some cherry wood, make you a dresser, make you a bed frame. And because it's actual solid hardwood, it would last almost forever unless the termites get to it.
That was a time-honored craft.
Right. But, we don't live in a world like that anymore. We haven't lived in a world like that for a long time. Now, on the flip side, because there are more people living than lived in back in the day, it's a necessity. Can you imagine how many trees and how much would cost the environment if everybody had to use real wood, not recycled pulp wood? You wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
It's a lot of things. Like people looking at, cars were more metal. Yeah, them heavy metal cars were good, but the thing about that heavy metal, a lot more people would die because the space age metal kind of breaks apart, whatever. But you got seat belts and airbags. It's like a big cushion, poof, and you kind of, with that mangled metal, a heavy metal. Yeah, it doesn't tear up as much, but when it does crush, it's like crushing a can of tuna and crushing the insides. You're never getting that stuff out. You might as well throw it away.
Yeah.
There's no peeling it off or whatever. So if you're a human and you're in that heavy metal can and it gets crushed, you're pretty much gone because they can't get you out.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I mean,
you're absolutely correct.
it's it's a give and take with technology. I would say, my
Yeah.
friend, that we all get. This is the Keepin' It Old Fashioned show. Nobody's a bigger fan of old fashioned things than Uncle Marv. But not everything from back in the day was great. Like slavery, they can keep that. Nobody's down with that.
Nobody.
Misogyny and all the things that are old school that we're trying to get away from, make things better. So I mean, just because it's old and it's back in the day doesn't mean it all was great. But I
agree
see
with
what you mean about quality craftsmanship, and with some things, it is a valid point. But I'm kind of into the future. And because new technology with technology-based world, think about the original cell phone, bro. Looking like a big giant brick.
I remember that.
We go through phones like every year. Like my phone folds now. When the new comes in with the new, out with the old. Society's
There's
been that way.
Pros and cons in a lot of things,
And a lot of that is due to technology and technological advances.
I mean, it's sad because a lot of things are not made in the U.S. either. I mean, China has terrible labor laws, and then they have, the cheapest materials. So that's like a capitalist dream because.
Who do you blame for that, Martin?
Well, it's the people with the 1% that decided to move the jobs overseas.
This is why
We used to make things in this
not to
country.
get political, but a lot of people are swearing by Republicans, and most of it's because they talk about things they grew up with, like the church and all this old school stuff, and judging people and whatever. When I tell them, you got to look at the other side of that argument, right? These are super rich people, and they'll rather pay somebody to make a certain item for $1 a day than pay an American a livable wage.
Absolutely.
So when you look at and complain about there are no jobs, there's a high inflation, you can blame the very people who you keep voting for, the very super rich.
Again, vote because they're taking everything away from you.
And and it comes down to it that if you had livable wages and everyone had jobs, then people can afford things. if you made the things here. I mean, why not build factories? Apple doesn't build factories in Baltimore, Boston, Detroit. All these cities that used to have like industries and middle class jobs where you can make a living.
And there's plenty of people waiting in line that will work there. I mean, there will not be a labor shortage in those cities.
Right,
They
so
were
it's
built
all
on industry.
it's all a cop out. You got a bunch of rich people paying politicians who are making millions. Right, the job only pays like 200,000, and they're making millions. They want this job because they're getting kickbacks. They're getting their hands rubbed by lobbyists and everything else, which is why at the beginning of the program we said you need to vote. But
Vote.
all of these reasons are why things are the way they are, Martin.
Yeah.
And it makes me mad too.
You think?
Thank you so much for this segment of What Makes Marty Mad. And I'm sure it makes some of you folks mad also. But if it makes you mad, do something about it. Get to the polls. We're going to keep saying it during this show because it's time to vote. Get to the polls. Don't complain about this guy. I got an aunt that complains about every politician since Nixon. And guess my aunt never does. Can't be bothered with voting. I don't want to go wait in line. I don't want to do it. My vote doesn't count anyway. If you got millions of people that feel this way, it's no wonder why things are the way they are, bro.
Constitutional right, man. Exercise it. People have died for that right to give it to you.
Absolutely. So thank you for sharing what makes you mad. You know what I mean? I hope that after a couple of my, points that I brought out, you aren't so heated about it.
Hey, man, not so much.
All right, all right. Listen, folks, we got a lot more great stuff coming up. Keep it locked in if you're on our podcast, our YouTube station. Like, share, subscribe. If you listen to us on She Real Radio, home of the kings and queens of R&B and hip hop, keep it locked in. We'll be back.
We'll be back.
All right, folks, we're back.
We're back.
We're here with our main topic. You're listening to the Keep It Old Fashioned Show with Uncle Marv.
Your boy Marty Marr.
And today's topic is something that I think you guys need to hear, right? It's about the do's and don'ts for all your major holidays that are coming up. We want to tell you now before the holidays even get here, because we don't want to hear you making say these horror stories. Every year I hear them. You're making some major mistakes. And I want you guys to be ready for this, all right? All right? And I'm going to start that off by saying this also, Uncle Marv and Marty Marr here. I go, who are these guys? They call us them bacon boys, right? We make beef bacon. Uncle Marv's old-fashioned beef bacon company.
Best.
Best beef bacon in the world. Best bacon in the world. Over 200,000 different flavors. You know what I'm saying? And if you go to Uncle Marv's, beefbacon.com. In a few weeks, we're going to have our holiday spread up there with all kinds of recipes of delicious dishes. You'll see the photos. We'll teach you how to make meals this holiday season. For your Thanksgiving meal, for your Hanukkah meal, for your Christmas meal, for your Ramadan, your feast day meal, right? That it'll be our contribution, our gift to you guys. Okay,
Impress your families.
And you can press your families and all that kind of stuff. But to kick that off, we want to start off with the do's and don'ts. Now, the first major so-called holiday coming up is Halloween. And people are like, Uncle Marv, how can you mess Halloween up? There's some funny things you shouldn't do on Halloween. There's some serious things that you shouldn't do on Halloween. So we're going to break it down. And I'm going to start with a list, Martin. The first thing on my list is dressing up as a naughty cat, a naughty bunny, a naughty nurse, or a naughty nun.
This is a do not or a do?
Do not. And I'm going to tell you why. See, we have the pleasure of living in Florida, South Florida, Miami, Coral Gables,
305.
Sun, Coconut Grove. And I'm going to tell you what disconcerted me, Martin. My first year, over 30 years living here, I had a job at the Coconut Grove Sailing Club, bro.
Did you really?
And I didn't even realize it was Halloween. All I see is naked people like with body paint, or not even clothes, body paint, son. Like walking around, sexy bunnies, and then these guys and girls are getting livid because people are touching them.
Yeah.
And I just feel like, in today's Me Too world, you're not helping yourself out or others. Sexualizing yourself during Halloween.
Nobody has a right to touch you, but I mean.
But what message are you giving to the kids, bro?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm going to put it on my list of things that you don't want to do, right? Number 2 is thinking that you can misbehave because you're in a costume. Let me put that another way. If you wouldn't do body shots without your Scooby-Doo mask on, don't do it without it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, people look at the anonymity. Oh, they don't know who I am. I can say what I want to people, touch people, act crazy, you know, because it's Halloween. No one knows, you know, throw eggs at cars. I mean, you know.
No, you don't want to do that.
Exactly.
Good way to go to jail.
Excuse me. Number 3, you know, carve Monet's haystacks into a pumpkin just because Martha Stewart told you to. Bro, you know, during Halloween, it's all right to look at the internet and try to, how to make your Halloween house more festive for Halloween. But you gotta have some lines that you don't want to cross and know your capabilities. Like, I mean, I know some people cut their fingers up trying to carve pumpkins, try and do some stuff elaborate because they seen it on TikTok or YouTube, not understanding that that video was edited. Them people had to try like 1,000 times before they got it right.
Yeah.
Or these are artists, people who are artists for a living. So, I mean, don't fall in that trap, right? Ride public transportation in your Amy Winehouse wig, bro. Buses suck. And they're going to suck more on Halloween if you dressed up all weird. People will tease you. People will think it's okay to say stuff to you.
You know, that happened to me and Christina.
Whatever.
That happened to me and Christina
You
once.
know?
My girlfriend, yeah.
Dress up as a bad pun is number 5, like a gold digger or someone from the 80s or something you saw on YouTube. You know what I mean? You're setting yourself up for teasing, and you might get offended if people say something to you. You know, thinking it's okay.
Not everybody has the same sense of humor. You know, be careful.
Right. Now, this is something that I never liked. I got into the biggest argument with my 3rd grade teacher because they want to do the bobbing for apples. I thought it was gross. When you got this guy that never brushed his teeth, and he bobbed in for apples, and they telling me to go next.
Come on, little Timmy.
All that spit in there, it's disgusting. Unless you get to go first, bobbing for apples is the worst. People, I'm looking at you, all right? If you listen to the radio, listen up. Stop traumatizing your children thinking you're having a really groovy Halloween party. And today with pandemics and stuff, bobbing apples is not the thing to do.
Every year a kid drowns, too. Every year.
Bro, and you got adults doing it. College kids, bobbing for apples. Bro, bobbing for apples is an old tradition that needs to be left in the past, bro. All right? I got it has to be said. No bobbing for apples, all right? Number 7, giving out healthy treats. If you want to be that person, right? Oh my God, too much sugar, and the kids need raisins, they need tangerines.
Let kids be kids,
they
man.
need this.
Come on.
These kids are going to return to your house if you give them raisins. If you give them granola bars, they're going to return to your house with toilet paper and eggs. So don't play the victim then. You, my friend. Yes, I'm talking to you. You, Miss Health Nut, Mr. Health Nut, Mr. Health and Mrs. Health Conscious. You might want to deprive your kids of sugar, but this holiday is all about the sugar. Unless you want your house TP with toilet paper and you want to get egged up, please give these kids some candy. You better off not giving treats at all if you don't believe in giving the sugar. Just say, hey, we don't celebrate this. All right? Now, number 8, serving your guests when you have Halloween parties with aggressively festive names such as Witch's Tit. Don't do it. There is a line that you shouldn't be crossing with some of this Halloween fun. All right? Now, my number 9 on my list should be shove your hand into a bowl full of peeled grapes masquerading as eyeballs or a tub of cold spaghetti mimicking slimy guts at the community haunted house.
Yeah.
A, you're spreading germs. They're food products. B, no one's going to be scared.
No.
The way food prices are, I mean, come on, guys. Come on. And number 10 is stop doing that dance from the 50s. Don't monster mash. Nobody likes that but your grandma. Nobody knows what the Monster Mash is anymore. Nobody likes it.
Stick to Thriller.
Let it go.
Stick to Thriller.
Let it go. I mean, Thriller dances. Hey, Thriller dances.
They'll never go out of style.
Yeah, Thriller dance is tight. But the Monster Mash, we do the Monster Mash. Come on, dude.
What is a Monster Mash?
Let it go. And those are my 10 tips of things not to do for Halloween. Now, Marty, I'm going to throw Thanksgiving your way, baby. What you got for me?
Oh, Thanksgiving. Well, everybody loves Thanksgiving. You get to spend time with your family. A couple of things on the list is, if you're going to say the food will be ready at 5 p.m., and it won't be ready till 7 p.m., you want to make sure that you have your timing correct. Make sure that everybody knows what time the food be. Everybody's going to be hungry. So make sure your timing is correct. That's my biggest pet peeve of mine. I've waited for hours for someone to get the food ready when they promise it'll be ready at 5 and it's not ready till 8 o'clock. So, do your guest a favor.
Well, as a
make
chef,
sure you have it
let me give you a little hints on that. Want to reach to go Uncle Marv's beefbacon.com. So we'll have a holiday recipes up. You have to plan a whole week or two before the holiday gets here. And think, you don't wake up Thanksgiving Day and say, hey, let's start making dinner. Thanksgiving dinner starts 2 days before Thanksgiving. If you want your food to be right. People come through and say, oh my God, Uncle Marvin, the meal was amazing and you sat there playing Halo the whole time. How did you manage this? And it's because I didn't wait till the last minute, right? I started the whole week before prepping stuff, having stuff ready to go, knowing like I need to have certain things already pre-prepped and done for myself. So it's not too much work on me. My kitchen isn't destroyed, and I'm not tired, and I have time to greet my guests and enjoy the family. Not only that, I can have the meal ready on time. The meal is ready when the first person arrives to my house. The food is already ready, bro.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Go ahead to the next point.
Another one, I think it kind of goes without saying, but I think you should never bring someone who wasn't invited. I think it's very, very tacky to just bring somebody along without letting the guests know. Especially when the guest may have a head count of how many, dishes he can make and things like that, or out of just respect out of the person's home. Don't ever bring an unannounced guest.
Yes, I would say today's world is no need for that. You got social media. You have all kinds of instant messaging apps. You got a cell phone, you got a supercomputer right in your pocket that you could reach out and say, hey, I ran into my old Marine Corps buddy. Hey, I ran into my old schoolmate. They have nowhere to go on Thanksgiving. Can we have another person there? And not only that, the biggest reason is that no one in anyone's family, you all don't get along. If you do, congratulations to the Partridges.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're the one family in the entire
because
United
I
States.
haven't met a family. It's going to be somebody that doesn't want to see somebody there, or you may have some friends that the rest of your family not feeling. Yeah. Ask before you bring somebody. That's great, Martin. That's great. What else you got for me?
This is a little fun, but do not make Jell-O salad. Jell-O salad is an abomination from the 50s. Nobody wants it. Every single place that I've been for Thanksgiving, if there's a Jell-O salad, it sits there the entire day looking sad and lonely like it is.
Well, I don't know if I'm from Baltimore because I'm African American. I have yet to ever see Jell-O salad at anybody's Thanksgiving or holiday festive.
I've been to a couple.
Never seen it.
The apples floating in there looking at you like, help me.
Oh, you know what? I take
me.
that back, Martin. I had to go back to the 70s. So, there was but those are like Jell-O molds, but it's like just fruit in it, like fruit cocktail and Jell-O. But people don't really feel in Jell-O. Like back in the 70s, for some reason, Jell-O was big, son.
It was.
Yeah,
I
Jell-O was
like
big.
Jell-O to this day. I think it's
not
good.
me. Not
Well, on the diet, I think Jell-O is good. The low sugar.
What else you got for me, bro?
This one's important. During the table, when you're all at the table, the dinner table together as a family, do not bring up politics or religion. Pick a better subject to talk about because it's going to get heated one way or the other.
Well, here's the thing about it. Most of the holidays are built around and they become religious things, right? Especially talking about Christmas, so you can't really get away with that. If you're a part of a religious family or, it depends. I mean, this time of year, you have Ramadan, you have Hanukkah. It's all about religion. So with Thanksgiving though, well, guess what? The politics, the more important part, I would say.
That politics is more
Because I
important.
mean, especially today's world, Trump has been very polarizing. Our politics worldwide are polarizing, no matter what country. To our friends in London, the UK, it's polarizing there too. The whole Brexit. I mean, I would stay away from politics unless you want fist fights to be happening at your dinner party. Try to stay away from politics. Now, me, I'll bring it up. I don't care. I'm ready to scrap. That's me. You know what I mean? But no. In all seriousness, folks, if you want to have an enjoyable time, if you want to use the holiday to mend fences and make your family stronger, then politics is probably something you want to avoid.
It's a personal thing.
He's
man.
probably right about
It's a
that.
personal thing.
All right, what else you got?
Well, I mean, this one was like before, don't come unannounced. Like if you are this VP that you're not going to be there, then don't just show up. You know, again, you weren't counted. You know, they have X amount of room. Just don't show up at the last minute. You know, honor the RSVP. The other one, don't talk about how much you're ruining your diet. I guess that goes to like me. Like when if I'm eating at Thanksgiving dinner, I know that I'm ruining my diet. Everybody knows how tacky is that. Just stop talking
I'm
about it.
glad you brought it up, Martin. What are the rules did I tell you?
What rule? Oh, the portion control.
And eat the meat and the veggies.
Yeah. Don't. I mean.
So,
you don't
I
want-
mean, you control what goes in your mouth. Doesn't matter. It's because they have it there. Doesn't mean that you have to overeat or get it. That's a choice. It's a personal choice. So it's going to test your willpower. Yes. But also understand that if you decide to eat some stuff, bro, that's why the day after Thanksgiving is the biggest day for gyms. They sign plenty of members
Yeah.
at the Thanksgiving, and they sign plenty of members again during New Year's for the resolutions.
January 1st.
So what you want to do is be true to yourself and know that if I eat this, that I have to be on a more adhere to my diet more strictly the next day. Let me get some workouts in. If I know I'm be eating this Thanksgiving dinner, why not get a workout early Thanksgiving Day and really push yourself so that your metabolism is already speeding up when you show up for Thanksgiving dinner.
Yep.
And then the next morning, don't sleep in. Get up. Instead of worrying about that Black Friday shopping, get your workout on before you go do that shopping. Just all tips. Just some tips, folks. Some tips for you from Uncle Marv. What else you got for me, brother?
I got one last one, and I think this is very important. Also, do not do your grocery shopping at the last minute. Do not be that panic buyer going to like whatever supermarket you have near you. Like we have Publix. It's gonna be a madhouse. You
Well,
know,
that-
everyone's gonna be stressed out already because it's the holidays.
Well, that goes back to what I was saying, Martin, about pretty much
Plan
what
ahead.
you want to do is you want to plan a week to 2 weeks ahead. And if you do that, part of that planning is making a list. Everything you have to get on that list. Making sure you all got it in. And you want to do it before Thanksgiving is even close. All right? So, I mean, folks, we're going to go ahead and take a break here, and we're going to come back with more. All right? You're listening to the Keeping It Old-Fashioned Show with Uncle Marv.
Your boy Marty Marr.
You listen to it in the podcast, like, share, subscribe. And if you're listening to us on our radio partner, She Real Radio, home of the queens and kings of R&B and hip-hop, keep it locked in. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we're back.
We're back.
You listen to the Keeping It Old-Fashioned Show with Uncle Marv.
Your boy Marty Marr.
And we were discussing the things not to do during the holidays. We already ran down like 10 or so things not to do for Halloween. Also, what not to do for Thanksgiving. Now, the major crux of the winter holiday involves three of the major Abrahamic religions: Islam, Judaism, and Christianity. So you're going to get Hanukkah, you're going to get Christmas, and you're going to get Ramadan. Now, I like to start off with, because we're in America, and there's a lot of Christians in America. It's the dominant religion here,
Yeah.
right? So a lot of people tend to be ignorant about other religions they didn't grow up in. And because we're all a melting pot, I've been invited to a lot of different holiday parties for other religions. So I'd like to give a few tips of what not to do before we go into what not to do on Christmas.
Okay.
All right? Let's start off with Hanukkah. First thing, if any of your Jewish friends invite you to their house for Hanukkah celebration, you gotta understand that traditionally it wasn't a really major holiday. You have Sukkot. You have Shavuot. These holidays were really traditionally more important than Hanukkah. But you know, it wasn't until living in America and you're Jewish and you have, I talk to my Jewish friends and they come home, why can't we have Christmas? And they, we got to have a holiday where we, give our kids gifts too and things like that. Because even with Christmas, it was never about the gift giving. That's all modern stuff.
Commercialized
right?
America, baby.
If you watch Scrooge, you don't see them really giving gifts. You see about the holiday, the Christmas goose, and going to Christmas mass in church. It was never about the gifts. But, I mean, in modern world, we look at things different. So you don't want to go to a person's house for dinner and you are not of their religion and you insult people, right? So just, first of all, you want to relax, right? You want to understand that, number one, Hanukkah's tagline is the festival of light. That light comes from the candles, right? Some say all the light is to help us deal with the darkness of the oncoming winter. Some say it's because of the war, like, when a teeny army of Jews defeated a ginormous army of Greeks and Syrians, right? And it delayed the celebration of the eight-day fall festival of Sukkot. But most agree that, true or not, Hanukkah celebrates the two major miracles from an ancient time. When that small army of Jewish warriors defeated a ginormous army of the Greeks/Syrians. And the second, a teeny tiny bit of super holy olive oil unbelievably burns for 8 days.
8 days.
Just long enough to press some more super holy olive oil. So blowing out the candles means you're grinching on these miracles. So you never, ever, ever want to blow the candles out. Not in jest, not making fun, or anything. Now, if you want to be helpful, bring a lighter or a book of matches with you, because every evening of Hanukkah, when it's time to light that candle, everybody seems to forget some kind of fire to light it with.
And when you do a barbecue,
All right.
same thing.
Now, you also want to do the math. All Jewish holidays start the night before, and there are 8 days to Hanukkah. So that's 8, count them, 8 nights before. Each new day, we add another candle. You know what I'm saying? However, each candle is lit by a single candle helper, a helper candle. So there are actually 9 candles. You have one candle that you use to light the other ones, right? The helper candles, okay? And every night we add a candle starting from the right to the left and then lighting from left to right, Don't ask them how to spell Hanukkah. You see it spelled with CH, you see it spelled with H, you see it spelled with KH. But remember, it's a Hebrew word where they don't use the same letters we use for English, right? So the transliteration is what it's called. When you use a language that has different letters, like, your wife's uses a different...
a lot of different sounds.
a different letter system
that don't
than
exist
Russian.
in English.
Right.
Yeah.
So just don't ask them how to spell it. The different spellings that we use to transliterate and represent Hanukkah English, you see them all over the place. Any of them are right. There isn't a wrong to it, right? The other thing I would tell you is feel the spirit. The ritual candle lighting is accompanied every night by 2 blessings. On the first night, it's accompanied by 3. No one expects you to know these blessings or to know Hebrew. Just be engaged with the people. It's about fellowship. So if they've thought enough of you to invite you to the celebration,
Yes.
think enough of them to, enjoy yourself, right? When you have phlegm in your throat, you need to hack it up? Yeah, that's the sound of Hebrew and Yiddish. That sound of Hanukkah, once you've practiced it a few
throaty.
times. If you want to Google, everybody has Google, and you want to learn how to pronounce certain things, then get on Google and play it, and people will pronounce everything for you so that you can do it. Hanukkah food begins and ends with oil. You know what I'm saying? Everything from the latkes, that they're like potato pancakes.
Delicious.
I love them.
Delicious.
With sour cream and applesauce. To boobay. You know what I'm saying? Your boobay is your grandmother. They make these. I mean, they got jelly donuts called soganiot, I think, and they're delicious. Bro.
Oh.
I mean, so
The challah bread.
right? Exactly.
Just
so,
enjoy being there. You're very blessed to have friends that would invite you. Just enjoy the food.
Right, right. So I mean, you know, um, get out your comfort zone. But before you go, read about it. All right? People automatically expect because you grew up Christian and you know all about Christmas or you're American and that's the dominant religion, so you know about that. Take the time to learn about others' beliefs, especially if you get invited somewhere, right? This is what brings us all together. Now, let's go to Ramadan, right? Ramadan is a whole month, and because Ramadan can fall during the Christmas holiday a lot, and sometimes it doesn't because it goes by the lunar calendar. So
I didn't know
every
that.
year it gets pushed back.
That's
It's,
interesting.
so it's not always during Christmas time. So
It's a floating holiday.
if you happen to go, right, it's a floating holiday. And that the celebration is at the end because a whole month of fasting where you don't eat during daylight hours, right? So if you know that you have Muslim friends, don't be holding cheese sticks under their nose during daytime. You know
Don't
they're
do- don't
fasting.
do that. Don't
It's
do that.
rude. If you get invited to a celebration, find out the do's and don'ts.
I have a question. Are they allowed to even drink water? Not even water, if I remember correctly, during
No,
the.
you try to extend from it. Now, if you got like medical conditions, children, you're pregnant, then there's certain exceptions that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he will, he will excuse you for.
Okay.
But if you're a healthy person, individual, you're supposed to try your best to complete the fast. It's about disciplining oneself, understanding. How can you tell a homeless person that, oh, you're not hungry and you don't really know what it's like to be hungry, right?
Yeah.
It allows you to be more empathetic. It's a lot to it, bro. And I really don't want to like go in all of it, but it's a fascinating thing for you to, to Google.
I
and
would love to
and-
learn
and-
more about it.
and
Yeah,
to learn
absolutely.
about.
Absolutely.
Now, let's get into Christmas and the do's and don'ts, about that. And Martin, you got a few for me. What do you got?
Okay, there's a few, and this one is something that I remember my mom got super upset about. Is do not tell someone else's children that Santa does not exist. I mean, who are you to tell a parent how to raise their kid? If if they want to tell their kids that Santa, is going to bring them gifts to have some sort of childhood, some sort of memories, then let them get away with that. I mean, I've seen it happen live, and I've seen parents get super upset when someone else tells their kids that Santa does not exist. What do you think about that one?
Martin, I'm that guy. But that's also because, I tell you a story, right? It's been my opinion that a lot of people that are heavily into like the Christmas thing, their kids wind up being greedy adults. Like I got some cousins, that nephews. What you get me for Christmas, Uncle Marvin? What you get me for Christmas? What you give me? Give me.
I can see that. I mean,
Give me.
I can see it. But I
That's
mean,
what
I'm
they're
not
doing.
a greedy person. and
Gimme.
I grew up with Christmas, but I can see that because I have
I
been.
mean,
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I've been to someone's house when they spoil their kid immensely, and then we went there, and the first thing they said, the kid, "What did you bring me?" Like, I don't even know this person. I don't even know. I'm just meeting this family for the first time. The kids, the first thing they
Point
said,
and case.
"What did you bring me?"
And then because Christmas is actually a religious holiday, I think it's wrong to have this fictional Santa Claus take away from what the religious aspect is what it's meant to be.
Yeah.
So I have a problem with the whole Santa Claus thing. I really do. Is it fun? Yes, but they should know this isn't real. It's all in good fun, and this is why we do it because it's a fun tradition of a fun myth.
Yeah.
And that's my personal opinion.
Fair enough.
I
fair
mean,
enough.
but I get what you say. Don't tell other people's kids.
Yeah.
Each individual should have the right, and it shouldn't be on you to spoil that for other people's children. So I can see why your mom got upset when somebody told you that Santa wasn't real. I hope it wasn't me. Was it me?
No,
Mark?
it wasn't you, man.
Okay, all right.
I wasn't. I wasn't like 35. And
All right. Just making sure, Mark, it wasn't
All
me,
right. And then my second one is, do not have too much fun at your work party or your office party. I have been working in restaurants my whole life, and there's always that Christmas party where that one or two people make a complete fool out of themselves in front of their bosses, in front of the executives, and there is no coming back for that. That is a talking point for the entire year, and these people will always regret doing that.
Well, Martin, I think you need to rephrase that. Instead of saying too much fun, say it for what it is. Don't get drunk at the holiday party.
Yeah, true.
Because what lowers your inhibitions is drugs and alcohol, bro. So if you know it's not a party in your house with your close and personal friends who already know how strange and weird you are, Martin, right? They already know that you might get up there with the lampshade on and your box is talking about, woo!
Only
Merry
once.
Christmas, everybody, yeah!
It's happened one time.
You know, twerking everything. You know, if you don't want to see your boss in your underwear twerking, you know what I mean? Your job's going to be gone. I suggest that you don't be that guy who spikes the eggnog. You know, that you know, you leave the eggnog virgin. That you don't be drinking a bunch of drinks. And getting out of control, because that's when all the inappropriate behavior comes. And that goes for every kind of holiday party. Halloween, it goes for Thanksgiving, it goes for everything, bro.
Yeah, don't get crunk in front of your bosses. Doesn't work out well.
Hey, whatever thing you got for me, man.
The last one that I have for now, is obvious regifting. I think it's so tacky when you get a gift and you can tell or you know that it was given to them by somebody else and they're regifting it to you. I think it's okay to regift something that you're not using.
How can you tell, Martin? Was you there when the first person brought it and then you know for a fact? how do you, what is your definition of obvious?
With someone else's name on it, or you could tell it's already been, wrapped in paper before. You can tell. Maybe because my family might have had a bad reputation when I was younger for regifting, and I know what it looks like. So,
well, here's the thing.
I think it's very tacky.
I don't have a problem regifting, long as you do it tastefully.
Yeah, but don't do it during
It shouldn't be where you're seeing leftover paper. You can't regift something that doesn't look brand new. It should look brand new.
So, yep.
And it should be an item that, like, one time, and this is like, and I'm telling you this is from like when I got married, bro. And I was young, we got like a bunch of the same gift, a bunch of crock pots, bro. So for the holiday, I gave some of those crock pots away as Christmas gifts. What are we going to do with 10 crock pots?
All right, fair enough.
Bro, and you don't want to embarrass the person by making them take their gift back, because then you come off as entitled. You come off as ignorant.
Well, that's why I meant
hurt
obvious
feelings.
Obvious regifting.
Okay,
okay.
It's
okay. Nobody wants
key words obvious. So don't misunderstand them, folks. It's okay to regift. Just don't regift crappy gifts.
Yeah. Obvious regifting is terrible.
Or
put a little bit of work into it.
Personalized. Hey, your name is Chuck, but they're giving you a monogram shirt that says Dave. That would be obvious regifting.
Yeah. That's it for me. What do you got?
All right, well, I got a few things, right? For me, do not fight with your family.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter. Any of the holidays, but especially like Christmas, Hanukkah, Ramadan, the big ones, right? It should be a time for forgiveness.
You're blessed to be there
You
with your
should be
family.
the bigger person.
Yeah.
And if you really can't stand a person that much, should you be at a holiday event with them in the first place?
Probably not.
Which brings us to the not bringing uninvited people. You might not know the problem your one cousin has with the other cousin, but it could be something rather serious.
And it'll get tense real quick. You can feel
Yes.
it in the room when it gets tense.
Absolutely. So, that's what I would say. Now, do not fill up. Do not fill up on candy canes, Christmas chocolates, Christmas desserts before Christmas dinner is served, and insult your grandmother or whoever made that meal.
Oh, yeah.
All right. People love to eat the stocking, the candies, and everything, and the kids will do it. And I used to get in trouble growing up, from the Christian part of my family, because I would get that stocking and eat all that candy, and before dinner's even close, and then I can't eat my dinner, and I'll be in a corner somewhere getting yelled at, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So my tip is, and it goes for adults too, you don't want to insult anybody and think you don't like their cooking, because people working hard for this meal.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Don't fill up on this junk food during Christmas, man.
People get up early to make sure you have a good meal, and then you don't eat it. Very insulting, because you filled up on chocolate.
Wear comfortable clothes. Now, when I say comfortable clothes, and this goes out to ladies as well as men, I don't mean stuff that's going to make, show your body off too much, where you be having your weird cousin. Everybody got one weird sex-filled cousin that be having that leery eye.
Yeah.
Or more importantly, people's mates that's not really their family, but that's like, damn, my wife's cousin got a big old butt, and you get caught, you can cause some family arguments,
Yep.
which we already told you not to fight with your family. And so, you want to do your part. You want to dress comfortable because you don't want to be in a full-piece suit with some shoes that hurt your feet. But you can't be in some tight, form-fitting, or you're a dude. You
Or
got
flip-flops.
You got this wife beater, tank top on, your muscles bulging, and your brother's wife is learning. Oh my God, look, he looks just like The Rock. Look at him. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, look at them muscles, baby. And then
Be comfortable but tasteful.
yeah, then your brother is trying to kill you. You know what I'm saying? You don't want that. So dress comfortable but tasteful. The last thing is be very, very, very careful with touching or knocking over folks' Christmas decorations.
Oh, it's the big one.
I gotta give a shout out to my mother-in-law, Margaret, right? She has one of the most fabulous, outstanding. She's been collecting from decades and inheriting from other family members. Christmas displays that you will ever see. Easily worth a couple of $100,000, man.
Oof.
I mean, she got some rare Disney like Christmas stuff.
It's
rare
her pride and joy.
pride and joy. And you come there and you knock and break something, bro.
You won't be invited ever again.
Not
That's
only
the
may
end
be
of that.
invited, you might not make it out there alive. I shudder to think what might happen to you if you destroy some of that stuff, bro.
Yeah, have some respect, man. People love
Right.
their Christmas decorations.
Man, that's all I got for those holidays. And for New Year's, we're gonna make it real easy and quick. Don't drive drunk.
Don't
Don't
excuse.
drive high.
No excuse.
There's no
today.
excuse in today's age where you have
Uber.
Uber and Lyft.
Oh my
For
gosh.
anybody to be getting DUIs and the cops are waiting, folks. I don't care what city.
They have a quota
I
to
don't
make.
care what state. I don't care what country you're in. They will get you. They getting their quotas. They gonna get your money. If you're not in your state, you somewhere else. Got a rental car. Leave a rental car at the hotel and catch a Uber.
Yep.
Because you will come on vacation and go home on probation. And that's pretty much all I got to add about that. You got anything to add?
Just don't drink and drive. It used to be a $10,000, ticket basically, but with everything you have to pay now, it's $20,000 if you get a DUI before you're done with it. Just don't. So I agree with you 1,000% on that.
These are our tips. We hope that you take them to heart and use them. You've been listening to Keeping It Old Fashioned Show with Uncle Marv.
And your boy Marty Mar.
And you're listening on our podcast, our YouTube, Uncle Marv's BeefBacon.com, or you're listening to our radio partner, She Real Radio, home of the kings and queens of R&B and hip hop. And we'll be back.
We'll be back.
The Keepin' It Old Fashioned Show presents Martifacts.
All right, my man Martin, we're back,
What's up,
folks. And we're dealing with Martifacts. Hit me with them Martifacts you got for me today, bro.
All right, I got a few today. Okay, number one, did you know Europeans were scared of eating tomatoes when they were first introduced? Now, scholars think Hernán Cortés brought the seeds in 1519 with the intent of the fruits being used ornamentally in gardens. By the 1700s, aristocrats started eating tomatoes, but they were convinced the fruits were poisonous because people would die after eating them. In reality, this happened because the acidity of the tomatoes brought out the lead in their plates, and they actually died of lead poisoning. Can you imagine Italy without tomatoes?
Yes, I'm actually familiar with that. And I'm going to tell you why. It's funny.
Oh,
When I was a young chef, they had this like medieval style restaurant that opened in Maryland, right? And they were noticing that people were getting lead poisoning. They didn't know why. One of the owners had bought a lot of antique, the metal goblets,
Pewter
the metal
plates and stuff like
pewter
that,
plates
yeah.
and stuff, not realizing that you get a chemical reaction because cooking is just science. It's food science.
it is.
And you deal with reactions, emotions, and all that kind of thing. So, yeah, I've heard of that kind of thing happening already before. So,
Very
but
cool.
very interesting fact, bro.
All right, right. The second one. Did you know surgeons who play video games at least 3 hours a week perform 27% faster and make 37% fewer errors. So honestly, I think before you get that knee surgery, you may want to ask your surgeon, hey man, you playing that new 2K, that Madden, that FIFA? See if he's playing video games.
I did not know this, but most of the best surgeons tend to be old guys who never play video games. So,
No, you're correct
I
on
don't,
that.
I don't know, man.
Like James Andrews, the one that does all the knee surgeries
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
football player. He's
exactly.
the best.
Yeah, but is he playing video games?
You never
bro?
know. Maybe he does.
Maybe he does.
Maybe
I
he
mean,
does.
I can't be hating. I mean, I'm a little bit on the other side of 50, bro. I still play Halo and I play, Call of Duty. I play video games still. So, all right, what else you got for me,
All
Marv?
right, for the last one today, did you know you are 3 times more likely to get a virus on your computer from a religious website as opposed to a porn website? 3 times.
That makes a lot of sense. I'm looking at you, AJ. Don't be looking at our engineer today is AJ. He's over there covering his face because he's one of those church folks. And the thing about church folks is that they trust it because they think Jesus is going to protect them. Jesus is not going to protect your PC, bro.
He won't.
You
but-
still need some virus protection, bro.
But the thing, the fact, he's just messing with. The fact of the matter is that hackers are trying to hit as many people as possible, and there are a lot of religious people in this world. So that's a great way to hack people, is by going after religious websites. So if you are into that, please be careful because they are coming after you.
Yes, they are. You hear that, AJ? Get some protection for your computer when you go to seek knowledge about the Lord, sir. Yes. You, sir. You. Yes. All right. Thank you for those artifacts. And listen, guys, next week, he's going to have more artifacts for you. So keep it locked into the Keeping It Old-Fashioned show. And if you're listening to us on a podcast, through YouTube or through the podcast platform of your choice, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you listen to us through our radio partner, She Real Radio, home of the kings and queens of R&B and hip-hop, keep it locked in. We'll be back. And you've been listening to the Keeping It Old-Fashioned show with Uncle Marv.
Boy, Marty Mar.
We appreciate you coming and supporting us. Please find us on UncleMarvsBeefBacon.com. Hit our YouTube link and go to our podcast if you want to see the video. If you're listening to She Real Radio, home of the kings and queens of R&B and hip hop, we appreciate you. And just go to SheRealRadio.com and you can look and see all the time slots where our show is on. All right. And remember, folks, we're going to be giving away some free bacon. Here is next week. We're going to have a new show for you. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. And go to our YouTube channel if you want to rent some free bacon. And every now and again on She Real Radio, they'll be giving it away. So keep it locked in, folks. Once again, this is Uncle Marv.
Boy, Marty Mar.
Keep it old-fashioned, folks.
Goodbye.